All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And in this lesson, as you can see in the title, better watch out, better not cry. Triple K is coming, and you know why. And the triple K, right, stands for the K, right, and then followed by the next two Ks. And there was a video that I was watching, it was a clip, right, that was put up by the elder brother Amawan Gabar on his page, and it was dealing with, the first one was with a woman, right? She looked like a Judite woman, or at least from the Southern Kingdom, and she was saying that, you know, they've been getting word about, you know, the triple K, right, or the white hats coming around. You know, pretty much they've been saying that they're gonna start targeting, you know, B-dubs, right, black women, and and they're saying apparently, right, they want to get their country back. Okay, so keep in mind, right, that you have, like, related towards the whole political tensions. In addition to that, right, imagine in some of these southern states or these Midwest states and so on, where there's a large influx of Edomites, right? And I'm talking about not Israelite foreigners, but actual purebred Edomites, right? That are like hold the Constitution near and dear to themselves, that see people like Trump as their, like, holy grail, right? We're talking about people like that. You know, they love their weapons, they love their guns, they love all of that. So when they then see a matchup like this, where you got Trump versus Kamala, and Kamala pushes or feigns herself to be this black woman, right? This so-called black woman. Apparently, she just became, you know. Anyway, this so-called black woman, they're seeing that as, like, what do you think this is? Like, do you think we're just gonna sit here and just let you, you know, come and take our country and all this extra stuff? Because what is like the predominant demographic that is rallying behind her? Women and so-called blacks, right? In the sense of, when you combine them both, for them it's the, oh, she's a, you know, we want a first female president, and you know, all that extra stuff, right? So long story short, this is alleged still, and we're gonna find out. One thing I will say is, yes, you know, there are reports about the National Guard being deployed, right? They're certain the Capitol, the White House, like all these different areas are boarding up, you know, in anticipation of chaos, of violence, and so on. At the end of the day, I say we watch and see, right? Because time and time again, you know, you have situations where they anticipate violence, you know, but it's not like there's this trigger in the minds of people, right? And the second, boom, everybody's, you know, running out with guns, right? Violence escalates. You know, it has different catalysts that drive it, but, you know, essentially it escalates, and then it turns into that state of extreme turmoil, where, of course, you know, you then need to bring in this greater level of law enforcement, if you want to call them that, because really, if you think about it, during the time of, like, martial law and those kinds of situations, it's really not about law enforcement, it's about order, okay? And it's really order through violence, because that's what people listen to, you know? But anyway, the second part of the title, as I put it, the triple K is coming, and you know why. Because ultimately, when all hell starts breaking loose, whether they have the white hat on or they don't, here's the thing about it. These people are like Batman, right? Like Bruce Wayne by day, Batman by night, right? Like Clark Kent by day, Superman by night, Peter Parker by day, Spider-Man by night. And the point being, you could be around them, you could be working with them, they could be the delivery guy, they could be the mailman, they could be and you don't know. And the whole time, guess what? They're watching, and it's higher in certain areas than others, but the whole point is, they're watching, they know where you live, you know, they know where you work, they may not like you. And the thing about it is, when you got the kind of energy that a lot of these women walk around with, which is that pride, as though they can't be touched, that puts you in a far, far worse situation. That's the "and you know why" part of this title. Because based on how you act, right, based on that level of arrogance and pomp that you walk around with, not every single one, but a good majority of them, right, that arrogance and that pomp that they walk around with, based on that, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you because you got even Israelite men, that are irritated by the by the behavior, of the so-called Israelite, not the so-called, but the Israelite woman. So how much more for somebody that has a perpetual hatred towards you? So this is something to keep in mind, as they were saying in the video, watch, right? You got daylight savings, right? It's getting darker quick. Watch your surroundings, watch who you with. But, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to pray to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you don't if you don't have that that hedge provided by the Lord upon you, then it doesn't matter how many precautions you take. It doesn't matter if you're taking classes on how to shoot. It doesn't matter any of those things. At the end of the day, what matters most is if you have the Spirit of the Lord with you. Because you ever seen in the movies when somebody find themselves in a disadvantageous position, right? And it looks like, damn, the enemy got them. Out of nowhere, one of them gets a phone call. There's a bigger emergency going on. We all gotta go. Then they all leave, and then this guy is spared just like that. As they say, saved by the skin of your teeth. It's a saying because your teeth doesn't have skin, but it just means that it's that, like, you were that close to getting got. Those things come by way of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, right? And obviously it's portrayed in a movie-like form, but in real life, that's how it works. See, the Lord doesn't have to send an angel to manifest with his wings and an axe in his hand or a double-edged sword in his hand and a shield and smack this burglar in the head. The Lord can just have that angel just control the thoughts of this individual who initially might have thought to do you harm, but at the end of the day, the Lord controlled the mind of them to where they didn't see the reason to do harm to you. So all these things, man, you got to keep it in mind that with how things are going, as it says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, that one people shall stand up and fight against another. They're going to be invading one another for lack of bread and for great tribulation. Look at the state of the country today. The economy is terrible. People are losing jobs. Prices are going up. Inflation is high. And now on top of that, you have these tensions. There's no surprise that Ezra said, right, in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, it says, friends shall fight one against another like enemies. Why do you think that is? What do you think drives that tension between friends to where they become enemies? What would be the reason for friends? You have disagreements, okay, but something even far more, far stronger than that is tribulation. You watch shows like The Walking Dead, you'll see good examples. When it comes down to hard times, people are wired to preserve themselves first. Now all of a sudden, both of you have families, but there's only one meal package, right? Or there's only one. We've been in this together from the get-go, and all of a sudden, this guy's like, nah, it's about me. So that's the point, and that's what you're seeing going on. You even have households, right, where maybe the husband might be on one side and the wife might be on the other side. And so you have households that are like, I'm not even gonna tell you who I'm voting for, because it's gonna cause too much chaos, too much back and forth. And keep in mind that this isn't like 4 years ago, right? We're at the point now where people are literally at the point of we're not going to endure a term, another 4 years of somebody that we are staunchly against, whether it's on the side of Trump whether it's on the side of Kamala, right? Both sides are like, nah, we ain't gonna do this, and we're basically not gonna take this laying down. Then you're gonna take it sitting down, you know. But we're gonna see, because these elites, right, at the top, they're looking to capitalize off of this. You know, they're looking to harbor the part of the organic tension, the organic anger, you know, the little hatred that they're nurturing. They're looking to capitalize off of that. And so what happens when you see, for example, if you find yourself in you know, on an island somewhere, right, and you're trying to start a fire, right? What do they usually do? You know, if they have the flint, you know, then they'll chip at it, get some of that, I think it's magnesium, onto that little stubble or that hay, you know, and then they'll chip at it, and then they'll try to get a spark. The second they see a bit of smoke, what do? They start to blow. You start to put some air on that to, you know, let it catch into a fire. That's what these elites are trying to do. They're seeing that smoke in these people, and they're like, good. All we need to do now is ignite, right? We just need to ignite them. And that's the thing. These people have been conditioned to have whether it's a real term or not, the symptom is definitely real, which is like a follower's syndrome. You know, they won't initiate, but they definitely will follow. So if you're on a plane, the plane is going down, nobody gets up. Until even if the pilot, you'd be surprised, even if the pilot was like, hey, by the way, the plane is crashing, so yeah, you might want to take some emergency measures for that. People would, what did he just say? The plane is crashing? Wait, so what does that mean? And until somebody gets up and says, oh shoot, oh hell no, where's my, then they start reaching for things. That's when everybody else starts getting, hey, wait, get out my way, let me get that with my grandma. You know, that's when everybody starts getting, because it's that follower syndrome. Unless somebody starts or initiates, they're just there. But when somebody does initiate, they catch on, they grab onto that thing, you know what I'm saying, like flies on shit. But that's the point right there. So when you deal with this violence, this hatred that these you know, these elites are nurturing and they're trying to capitalize off of, then all they need is one or two provocateurs to start it, to set it up, you know, because they're like, all right, these people, they're pretty upset. But then again, it's the initiation, right? If it's going to be a shootout, it takes a trigger for somebody to pull the trigger. Somebody needs to be triggered to the point where they're like, and then they just go ahead. And these people have it in them, but it needs to be drawn out. Because once it's drawn out, then, hey, it's going on from there. Once the first fist or the first punch is thrown, then it goes on from there. You see that all the time, even in like these mob fights. They'll get all up in each other's face, and what do you hear them say? Do something. Why? Because they're looking for the trigger. They're looking for somebody to start it. You know? So what's up? Then they just get all up in each other's face, and both sides are literally waiting. All right, this side does something. The second this guy does something, I'm taking him out. Once again, they're looking for that trigger so they can go ahead and get all up into it. So Esau's like, okay, I know you guys are not initiators. You don't want to be the starters. I'll start it for you. And I know damn well you're gonna go ahead and finish it for me. See, that's how Esau works. You know, he studies the people, he sees what they're into, what triggers them, and all that, and then he goes right up ahead. So we're gonna see, like I said, hey, as it says in the scriptures, watch as well as pray. But it also says, the Lord said in Matthew 24, right? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So we still have remaining prophecies, right? We still have 2nd Ezra 15, we still have 2nd Ezra 16, we still have parts of these scriptures that are yet to come to pass. And yet you see things happening in the world that are pertaining to the parts of the scriptures that deal with things like World War III, right? That deal with the nuclear destruction and all of that. And so you're saying, wait, it sounds like the nuclear war is getting closer and closer. And yet, you know, we're still waiting for the MOTB. We're still waiting for the martial law. You know, still waiting for all hell to break loose. All it means is that those are all culminating, right? They're building up in the background. And in at the time, right, of Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1, at that time, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, that sudden destruction, once that first domino falls, it's going to be like so much happening at once. That also plays into why it's going to be known as a time like never before. Because yes, you've had natural disasters in the past. Yes, you've had famines in the past. Yes, you've had diseases in the past. Yes, you've had civil wars in the past. Yes, you've had all these things in the past. But to have all of these things happening at once, as if you run from one threat and meet another, and just when you escape from that and think you're safe, you get caught by another, the poly crisis. That is going to be on such a level of number one, intensity, but the aggregate of all of these calamities is going to be unlike a time like never before. When else in history have all these things been happening all at the same time? Like, you can't catch a break. All right. And so all these things they're tarrying, but as it says in Habakkuk 2:3, though it tarry, wait for it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when the angels let loose of the four winds, when that hell starts to really set in, it's not gonna stop. I was watching a video earlier today by Dabu7, and he mentioned how you had these big time, I forgot, there was one individual he mentioned. Was it oh, what's this guy? This rich guy. Was it Warren Buffett? I forget who it was he mentioned, but he said this guy has been liquidating his stocks like nothing, like crazy. I think in Bank of America and a few others, he's been liquidating his stocks along with other people, quote unquote, higher ups. Why? Why so fast? Why so much? Why all of a sudden? Why around now? They must be anticipating something. Okay. So all in all, bringing it back a little bit more towards the title, you got to be very careful, because that spirit of pride and arrogance or arrogancy will end you up as Micah 7 and I think 7:10, right? As the she that is mine enemy shall see it. You might end up as one of them. And that's to the proud, arrogant women out there. And guess what? You got certain women that think just because you're an Israelite, or you say shalom and all of that then you're good. But you got a lot of women that know they're Israelites, and they're more demons, they're bigger demons than other women who are Israelites that don't know they're Israelites. And you're thinking, well, because you're an Israelite, you're good, versus somebody who doesn't know that they're an Israelite, like that holier than thou spirit. You'd be surprised to find the Lord have favor to a humble woman that doesn't even know she's an Israelite, versus one that does know she's an Israelite but is a demon. And you might end up having a 3-on-1 party with the triple K. Then they might burn your ass after. Hey, but it's all going to be done by the Lord anyway. So we're definitely living in some serious times, and you can definitely expect things to get serious just like that. See, when the Lord does these things, it's like pulling a trigger. Things can literally change on the drop of a dime, as they say. And before you know it, you're like, yo, how is it that last week we were talking about this, and this week, I mean, this is crazy. The things we're seeing are worse. I mean, obviously, when you see it and you live it, it's going to be far more dramatic than thinking about it and speaking about it. So, hey, at the end of the day, as the scriptures say, right, Proverbs 18:10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. So no matter what happens, no matter how things go, whether things happen, whether things happen, but maybe not at the level we thought they were going to happen, whatever the case is, we're good, because we're in line with prophecy. Okay, it's not about the hype of the world, it's about prophecy. Where on the timeline of prophecy are we, and what can we expect to happen next? So if it's not this, it's going to be another, right? But it's all on the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's time. And that's why we're not in the spirit of getting ready, but staying ready, because it can happen at any moment. So I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Keep your eyes open. As the scriptures say, remain circumspect. That's not just, oh, well, I don't live in these kinds of states, and I think I'm good. No, judgment can go out at any time, to anyone, anywhere. So definitely, stay in the spirit of the Lord, stay in the right spirit, and watch. Okay, be very, very vigilant and watch your surroundings. Watch what's going on, because the Lord is definitely working. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.